Hello everyone, welcome back to Apex Coasters. Today, this is episode 1 of 4 of every single park at the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. I have been to every single one of these parks and been on every single roller coaster there, so you are going to be getting a personal experience from me, and it's not going to be from other people, what they think. So what I think may not be what you think, so make sure to also check these rides out down below to get your own opinion and comment down in the comments what you thought about these rides. Okay, so this is episode 1 at Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is the most popular park with a giant assortment of rides, but today we are going to be talking about the thrill rides in the parks, which is roller coasters. These are going to draw the biggest lines in the park. And there are some brand new ones and some pretty old ones. So let's dive right into it. So we are going to be starting in this video from the family, and then the thrills sections. So the first coaster we're going to be doing is Barnstormer. Now, Barnstormer opened in 1996. It's 30 feet tall and it goes 20 miles an hour. I'd recommend sitting in the back row if I was going to be going on this roller coaster, because to be honest, the back row for me is really it's just a different experience on kiddie roller coasters. But yes, this is a kiddie coaster. It's manufactured by Vekoma, and so the ride starts off with a little turn out of the station up the big lift hill. Now, these pictures, what you see these ones are from 2008. Only the ones from 2012 are the correct ones, like this. So this is the entrance of the ride. Actually, this is in the Fantasyland section, right next to the Dumbo attraction. So the ride starts off with a lift hill, and then the turn, and then through this billboard, which is actually pretty fun. You do get some nice head chopper moments, which is the feeling that you are going to hit your head on something when you're really not. And then you go around some little fun hills and turns and into the breaks. It's a fun kiddie coaster for everyone to enjoy. If you're not a big fan of giant roller coasters, then this one's definitely for you. Okay, so next roller coaster on this list, we have Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. This is located also in Fantasyland, right across from, actually, you don't really know what needs to go right across. It's more of like if you're walking around rocky areas and you hear people screaming, it's probably going to be for this one. Now, the ride starts off with a nice little turn out of this station and down a 10-foot. Actually, it just departs straight out of the station down a 10-foot drop. Now, after the drop, it kind of meanders around a little bit. This is actually a model that they had at the 2012 IAAPA Expo, which is International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions, I believe. And so this is what a model that they were presenting to the public about what their brand new roller coaster was going to be. Now, the ride starts off out of the station at about there, and then it actually about right here, and then it turns around and then goes up the first lift hill. Now, the first lift hill has a 31-foot drop, and then down these little turns, and then around, and then you head into the mountain, aka the mine. This is where you're going to see all of the fun little characters from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, such as all the Seven Dwarfs and other characters such as Snow White and the Wicked Witch. This is the first lift hill, and the carts are themed to mine carts. So they also have a cool feature where they can swing back and forth. So after that, the ride goes into the mine and circles around a bit before ascending a 40-foot tall lift hill. Now, that lift hill goes down. It has a little dip down, as you can see in this photo right over here. It has a little dip down out of the tunnel, and then goes down the biggest drop of the ride at 41 feet, clocking in at about 35 miles an hour. Then it goes through a upwards helix into the mid-course brake run, where it goes over this water and the track that you just went down, and then it goes down a little bit of a drop, and then over some little turns you see meandering back and forth into the final brake run. Now, the brake run is obviously where the ride ends and where it slows down. That's pretty much all this ride has to offer, and on to the next roller coaster. So the next roller coaster I'm going to be talking about is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This is personally one of my favorite coasters at the park. It doesn't have a specific height, but it does go 36 miles an hour with 3 chain lifts. I do have some other videos on this too, but in the meantime, let's just look at this photo and see what this ride has to offer. Now, I believe the ride starts out of here and goes up a little lift hill into the mountain. Then it goes around some little turns outside, and finally into the second lift hill, where it proceeds up here and then has the biggest drop of the ride, where it kind of drops down a little bit, then goes through some turns. Now it goes through the cave system a little bit. It also bounces around, has a little surprise drop that's fun, and then it comes out the top right here, does a little turnaround over the water, which is pretty scenic, and then it goes up over here and then down and then into the brake run. But there's one extra surprise. The ride doesn't end there. It actually has a second it has a third lift hill, and it dives down into this quarry section where you can see there's these cool dig site stuff, and the train actually dives past dinosaur bones. And that's pretty much all this ride. As you can see, this is the big drop right here. It comes down and then goes up around this turn. So that's pretty much all this ride is. On to the next ride. This one is it's actually located in Frontierland, which is in between Adventureland and Fantasyland. If you get a map of the park, it'll be really easy to see. Now, for the second to last ride, we have Space Mountain. A lot of people think this ride's intimidating. I just want to tell you this. It doesn't matter. You're in the dark. It doesn't matter. These are actually racing coasters, if you didn't know. They're supposed to be racing coasters. They don't always dispatch at the same time. But yeah, they were supposed to be racing coasters. So as you can see here, there's the Alpha side and the Omega side. They both, the Alpha side is 10 feet longer than the Omega side, but they both offer pretty much the same ride experience. As you can see here, they have near miss moments. So the ride starts off with a little turn into a weird tunnel that has flashing lights and stuff. This is actually inside the mountain. As you can see here, this is like where the track goes around, and that's the biggest drop right there. But we are going to get to that later. So the ride starts off with a little turn and then up the lift hill that is actually 90 feet tall, but you don't need to worry because it's not tall at all. When you're in the dark, you can't even see how high you are. So then after that, it proceeds down a little drop and some turns before taking some turns and then having a straight track. And whenever you're on a straight track in this ride, you know there's about to be a drop. So it kind of turns around over here and then a straight track, and then it has the biggest drop of the ride, which propels it to a top speed clocking in at 27 miles an hour. Then it meanders around a little bit and finally reaches the final brake run. So the last roller coaster, this is actually the most recent one. It opened on April 4th, 2023, which is just about, I believe, 9 months ago, if I'm not wrong. So this is Tron Light Cycle Run, themed to the Tron movies. This is actually an enclosed roller coaster that goes outside, and it's also a pretty much copy of the one at Shanghai Disneyland. So the ride starts off with the station being right here, and then a turn out of the station. Now you are seated on a motorcycle just like the light cycles in the Tron movies. Then you hit the launch pad and are accelerated up to 59.4 miles an hour and skyrocketed out into this weird thing, like this dome. And then you go back into the building, proceeding right here before going up right into there, and that's where the show building part begins. So the ride actually is pretty much all enclosed. As you can see, these are the renderings. It's next to Space Mountain. This is, by the way, in Tomorrowland. So this ride actually opened just after I left. It opened a couple days after I left, so I was really disappointed. So this is the only ride that doesn't have my actual feedback. After that, it proceeds inside, and you race against the red cars, aka a mirror that reflects off your car and turns red. So you're basically racing against them. This is the track layout. It has some mid-course brake runs and some surprising drops in between, such as a 50-foot drop. So this is the most intense ride in the park. And that's pretty much all this ride has to offer. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to every single roller coaster at Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom in Orlando, Florida. And I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching.